I have court exhibit number 5, which is a note from the jurors that say we are finished. I'm assuming that means they've reached a verdict. We'll find out shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring this jury in and we're going to receive the verdict, and we're going to receive it in silence and respect. I would hate to come this far and revoke a Rule 22 order allowing the press in here, but one thing I will not allow is for the press to walk around or run around in recording this verdict. I have approved certain stations for people to take photographs and still photos. Please treat this proceeding with dignity and respect. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a highly charged case for both sides. I know, and I had observed loved ones for the victim and loved ones for the defendant here in court, and I respect that. I do not know what this verdict is. But as I said before, it will be treated with dignity and respect, and their verdict will be respected. If anyone feels that they cannot control their emotion, I'm going to give you your chance to exit the courtroom at this time. Otherwise, I expect the verdict to be received stoically for both sides and by family members. If there's anyone that thinks they need to leave the courtroom, do so now. Mr. Jim, if we can bring the jury in, please, sir. Jurors may be seated. Mr. McMahon, have y'all reached a verdict?
Yes, Judge, we have.
Okay, if you would hand that verdict to Mr. Goolsby. And Mr. Goolsby, if you deliver that to me, please, sir. In the Superior Court of Spalding County, State of Georgia versus William Franklin Gebhardt, defendant, criminal action number 18R105A. Having considered whether the state has proven each element of the following offenses, we, the jury, unanimously find as follows. Count 1, malice murder, guilty. Count 2, felony murder, guilty. Count 3, aggravated battery, guilty. Count 4, aggravated assault, guilty. Count 5, concealing the death of another, guilty. Signed this 26th day of June 2018, signed by their foreperson. Do y'all wish to look at the verdict form? Any objection to the form of the verdict? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service on this case, and I want to thank you for the sacrifice you've made in being with us for last week and this week, and the work you have done on this case. I have repeatedly admonished you not to discuss this case with anyone. You're hereby free of this and that, and you may discuss this case with anyone you like. Please leave your jury badges with Mr. Jim Goolsby or in the jury room. We're going to give you a moment to collect your personal items and a chance to leave the courthouse if you would like to do so. I'm going to take a 10-minute recess before we proceed with sentencing in the case. You're no longer jurors. You are now just citizens, just like the rest of us, and you're free to come in and watch the sentencing on this case if you like. However, if you would like not to, you're free to go home or back to work, whatever. Any notes you've taken, we'll see that those are shredded. Just leave them in the jury room, and we'll see that they're protected and shredded to protect your thought processes or processes during this procedure. I want to thank you again for the sacrifice and the service you provided. And please remember what I told you last Monday about Thomas Jefferson, saying that the right to trial by jury is more important to the preservation of this government than is the right to vote. And I think you will agree with me that that's true at this time. With that, ladies and gentlemen, you are free to go to the jury room, to leave your badges, collect your personal property, and either leave the courthouse or to have a seat or stand here back in the courtroom. Okay, thank you. Y'all can go ahead and secure Mr. Gebhardt. Like. If they want out, let's escort them. I'll ask that the audience remain silent until the jurors have had a chance, those that wish to leave, that they've had a chance to leave and clear the courthouse.